All right, we should be good. Testing, testing. 1 2 3 1 2 3. Alrighty. This is gonna be a good one, especially good one. We are at the final Mii fighter for the Kirby's to fight. Since I ended up streaming the Mii Gunner and Mii Brawler crew battles before, I'm going to be also streaming the Mii Swordfighter crew battle against the Kirbys. This should be a very good one, mostly because this is a character I actually main myself. But since Mii Swordfighter's moveset does vary quite a bit, there's not a whole lot of info I can give just by myself, and I gotta give the Kirby info alongside that. I thought I'd get someone to help join alongside me. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to the other person who's in the arena currently, and that's going to be Supa. Why don't you say something?
Hey, so I'm Supa. I main Mii Swordfighter. I don't know why I picked such an outlandish character, but I really love playing all the weird movesets. I love playing around with all the other ones, and so I've seen people pull out their blurring blade or their stone scabbard, and so I know all about them. So if you don't know something, I'm here to help you out.
All right, that's gonna be great. So we're gonna be hopefully getting into the first match very soon, which is going to be what you're hopefully seeing on the screen right now, which is trowftd and BigLord. So I know quite a bit about BigLord already, but just to like establish a little bit, could you like just let us know a little bit more about how his sword fighter works, if you're, because you likely know more than me.
BigLord is the Mii legend. He's been around since the very beginning. In Super Smash 4, he was a big Mii player. He's played Brawler, he's played Gunner, and so he has to play Mii Swordfighter too. He's one of the best in Portugal. This guy is pretty amazing, and I'm kind of excited to see him pulled out right off the gate.
Yeah, so, oh my god, this is he's giving me a joyous costume to look at right now. This is the Meta Knight mask with the Dragon Quest armor. Pretty sure.
Well, you gotta play as Kirby's villain. I think he's establishing that the Mii Swordfighters are the bad guys tonight.
I mean, I'm fine turning villain. They're usually the more interesting characters in the story anyway. Yeah. So
he actually gets eaten by the Kirby in hand, and so that actually seems like it's going to be a really powerful way to stop the aggressive recovery of the SSD from the Mii Swordfighters.
Yeah, so from my experience against fighting Tro in particular was the use of Gale. The move is extremely slow, so you know, while reversal slash, that down B cape-like move from Mii Swordfighter is still such a huge thing to have to reflect it, the move is more like a neutral tool instead of
well, not there.
I mean,
the neutral tool there is able to turn him around so powerfully for that kill.
Yeah, the big proponent of reversal slash is that since it does function like Mario Cape, the reflective properties just means that if Kirby's going to recover poorly, their stocks are just gone.
Yeah, so it looked like that first stock that BigLord was playing super safe, just kind of stepping back, just letting the Kirby be the one to make the mistake. And I think that's the big plan. Kirby has a lot of hard punishes off stage and with his grab combos. He almost gets the kill there, but he doesn't quite. And so I could see a lot of camping in this matchup, a lot of playing it safe, a lot of keeping control of the stage, and just trying to keep the Kirby out of the advantage stage.
Yeah, BigLord's not trying to be too risky by going at neutral get-up distance, because that can mean death by just using something like a grab, but going for an up smash on a punish on a rising aerial, that's going to do it. For the second stock of trowftd is going to be going down.
Oh, and we get the fair into F smash. So that's a combo that's it's similar between both of the different characters. It looked like BigLord had a commanding lead. Let's see if he can like pull it out right now, and so he doesn't have to drop too much of his advantage in this crew battle. Remember that the stocks are going to remain as we go through the characters with just how the function of crew battles works.
I keep seeing these extensions, and by the moveset I use, I just keep thinking he's going to extend with Shuriken instead of Chakram, but I know Gale is a lot, I will admit it's a lot more useful by comparison in this matchup, especially for off-stage control.
Definitely. Oh, sorry, I thought the hammer was gonna hit him. So the tornado is super powerful. Oh, and he gets the reverse. Is it enough? Not quite. So the tornado is super powerful at controlling space. A lot of people just see it as that projectile that you throw out, has a ton of lag, and kind of hope it hits them so you can follow up with that up air. But the true power in the tornado is its ability to cover so much space. Kirby is large and floaty. Oh, he's able to make it back. And so the tornado just stops so many of his options and allows the Miis SWORDFIGHTER to control so much space.
Good dash attack on response to Kirby's own dash attack. BigLord only losing one stock there. Now the big deal concerning I was just losing my train of thought there, but the big deal about Gale Strike as an option specifically against Kirby is that Gale Strike is a move that I think is very punishable. At least for a lot of characters, their speed is just fast enough where they have a reflector or maybe counter to just nullify it. It's not that huge of a threat in some matchups, but in this one, Kirby isn't fast enough on the ground. Their airspeed is beyond below average. So they're not going to have the speed to catch up to where Gale Strike is going to be tossed out at. It's not going to be punished too easily.
Kirby's are going to have to play very, very smart in this matchup. A lot of the kills we're going to see from Kirby's are going to be off stage with the gimping with the dare. However, I've seen BigLord in the server. He's been practicing this matchup. He knows when to extend and when not to extend. So Kirby's are going to have to be a lot wiser with their punishes, like in the last one with the fair into F smash.
Yeah. So just to go into like a little bit of combos before I want to jump into a different topic concerning stages, which we'll probably have plenty to talk about concerning that. But just combos for starters, we didn't see it. But we did see forward R1 to forward smash, which again, it's similar to what Miis SWORDFIGHTER has. I'd say it's a little easier to pull off, but forward R1 to forward smash is the late percent combo for Kirby. Super strong, super powerful. Will regularly kill at like 80-90 where it's done at. But Kirby also has really powerful early percent grab combos too. BigLord needs to SD a stock. There we go. Now, Kirby has like forward throw, forward air into regrab, forward throw, down air, up tilt, up smash. That'll do 50 or 60% on Miis SWORDFIGHTER, which will grant Kirby a massive lead, which is the biggest thing they need in this particular matchup, because the lead's a huge deal.
Right, but BigLord's playing very, very safe. He's trying to camp out a little bit. He's trying to keep his space. He knows what those combos are capable of, and he's trying everything he can to stay out of those ranges.
Yeah, and while in theory, like, the projectiles for SWORDFIGHTER are considered strong, it's what most SWORDFIGHTERs, super good combo. What most SWORDFIGHTERs have been saying is that you just need to camp with the sword.
Right, the camping with the sword is very powerful. I'm also just absolutely amazed by how well BigLord is pulling out these reversal slashes, the Mario cape effect. He's been able to set up so many powerful punishes against Kirby so far. I think 3 of his stocks have been set up with that move alone. And having taken 4 stocks, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Something else I want to at is in the last game, Kirby got up to 200% before BigLord was able to kill. And so we were talking about some of the kill setups that Kirby had. Miis SwordFighter, he loses a lot of his kill setups after a certain percent. He's got the capabilities of killing Kirby at like 70-80% with combos into the up air. But after that, he has to get some stray sword attack, and he doesn't really have any strong confirms. And so you're going to see a character as light as Kirby surviving to unreasonable percentages.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd say that's a little bit of a lucky situation with G-Man's first stock being lost, at least for BigLord's side, because he got down throw up air, which online in particular, you're seeing the combo there. It does like almost 57%.
57% out of one combo. It's nothing new to your Kirby's, but it's pretty scary seeing that against, or for the Miis SwordFighters.
Yeah.
It's such a strong advantage, but that was enough to change it, and he doesn't get the DI. G-Man has to be DIing these a little bit strong. I know Kirby's big and fat and slow, but if he doesn't get the DI out of those up or down throws into up airs, he's going to get those kills before 100%.
So, just to talk a little bit about that, that's something not many people know, and that's the first thing most people ask when talking about Miis SwordFighter as a matchup is, how do I DI down throw up air? You have to DI it away, but down throw for Miis SwordFighter is 15 frames. On Wi-Fi, that's nigh unreactable to do. And BigLord didn't react to that F smash either, and just air dodged into the stage and gets hit by it.
Wow, that F smash was amazing. I didn't think it was gonna hit. That hitbox must be huge.
Yeah, it's quite massive. But the deal with down throw, you can't react to it on Wi-Fi too well, but you gotta anticipate it. You have to know that it's coming, and you know you won't die to any move by doing DI away. Back air won't hit, so you're not going to die. You'll just get out of up air and you'll be golden, and then you'll be sitting at 120 thinking you're sitting pretty, because there's no solid kill option aside from like near the ledge that SwordFighter has to reliably kill with.
Oh yeah, even then, I remember I was playing a game. It was Kirby has at some crazy 160%, this super light character, and I did my F throw against the Kirby, and he was able to survive. Like, you shouldn't really be afraid of the forward throw. Always be DIing out. Like you said with the anticipation, something else that's pretty unique is the tornado ability also can be DI'd. And so if you see that you're going to get hit by that tornado, maybe you're in the air and you just can't avoid, you should also anticipate doing that DI outwards.
Yeah, it's not something you're going to be seeing very often, because again, who fights this character, right? It's extremely important to know. The other extremely important thing to know, it's probably what most people know already about that tornado Gale Strike, is that move does have set knockback depending on weight. For Kirby in particular, it's a little harder to combo than most other characters because of how floaty Kirby is and how light they are. But again, that move still has relatively set knockback, and an up air is easy to confirm off of it, at least if you react well.
BigLord's been doing fantastic with his up air confirms so far. So I think he's setting a really good lead for the Miis SwordFighters. However, when I see BigLord play in these previous crew battles, I see him taking tons of stock. So only taking this few so far, despite like playing, like he's a real ace in the hole for the Miis SwordFighters. I can see the Kirbys making a good comeback from here.
Yeah, and we have yet to see the next SwordFighter on the lineup join in, but okay, just as I say that, we're going to be getting TVenemoth.
Alright, so it looks like Venemoth plays a pretty goofy moveset himself. He plays 1-2-3-2, which means he has the tornado. His second move is probably one of the most controversial moves for Miis SwordFighter. It is Gale Stab, not Gale Strike. So it is an Ike side B ability. I think this move actually has a lot of strength against Kirby. It has the ability to shield poke, and if like he charges it enough, he can get a strong hit on Kirby unexpectedly. It's a pretty weak recovery, since if the detection hitbox hits the character or the shield of anything, he instantly goes into a free fall and is unable to grab the. So it's kind of scary in his work for recovering. And then the last controversial pick is he is using Hero Spin for his recovery. That's the Link recovery move, and so it's really
the noob catcher.
It's really strong for getting kills, but it's a little scary for his recovery. And Kirby is pretty strong at using his dare to catch you.
Yeah, Hero Spin is what everybody would call is like, this is why Sword Fighter is good. This is like the gimmick they have, but it's exactly that flaw that doesn't make it viable in this matchup. Kirby in this matchup with Hero Spin, because down air is so easy to clip at Sword Fighter's head, since that's sort of a dead zone of the hitbox, it actually makes Kirby's down air look good off stage. It makes it look like a good move, which, you know, a bunch of Kirbys will say that move isn't good. But if you're using Hero Spin Sword Fighter set, you gotta be wary of it.
The Kirby dare is gonna take you down to the nether, and the other two recoveries will help me Sword Fighter make it back on stage. Hero Spin won't. However, if Venemoth is pretty smart about it, he might be able to get a kill on an unsuspecting Kirby trying to get that down air. And so if he plays it smart and uses his reversal slash and his tornado to get that aerial stall to kind of trip up the Kirby, he can get those sneaky kills when Kirby's trying to gimp him.
Yeah, and another important thing to note, you know, the kill combo everybody knows isn't the only thing that Hero Spin has a benefit of. It's also Sword Fighter's best out of shield option, at least from the front. Hero Spin is frame 8, I'm pretty sure, and has a decent amount of knockback, so it's the best thing Sword Fighter has. I know frame 8 isn't really like impressive for most people, but it's better than everything else we got.
Kirby being a floaty and kind of a fat character, it should be relatively easy to get confirms with the Hero Spin as well. He takes up a lot more space in the air, and so I imagine Hero Spin should catch Kirby fairly easily.
Yeah, and okay, I want to discuss movesets just a little bit here. BigLord used 1322, which is, oh my god, that's me. I want to say this is the most, or at least what BigLord used, is the most common seen Sword Fighter moveset. What Venemoth is using right now is just a little variation on it. It's quite a bit less common, but you'll be seeing a wide variation of sets, but most people on this lineup will have 1322. Funny
enough, I see this moveset as being a more aggressive one, yet I'm seeing Venemoth still playing very, very safe. I imagine he's going to become more aggressive as his percentage gets up. I don't think he wants to get caught by an early grab percent and get those, 50% on him. He's throwing a lot of his tornadoes, and so he's trying to play that little campy zoning game. And so I'm kind of surprised he doesn't want to choose Chakram under this kind of playstyle. I mean, he hasn't used his Gale Stab yet.
Also,
Alright.
Can we make note that G-Man did not SD his 2 stocks? He's it. Yeah, so I tagged G-Man on Discord, letting him know, hopefully he sees it, that he needs to SD once he loses his first stock.
Well, once he loses his stock, we'll know. We got an eye on the game. It's hard when you're under the pressure and you're trying to get things going. You're on stream, a lot of people watching you.
Yeah, I mean, there we go. That's the trade. Wow, wow.
Finish, and that's the game. He knows well. Oh, what an explosive end!
Yeah, so if you DIN on something like Gale Stab, then you're going to explode off the top blast zone, and at that kind of, I can't have a serious face when I'm seeing Cuphead on Rex outfit, but you are just going to, like I said, you're going to explode, and at that kind of percent. I think Forward Smash just hit in a wrong spot. I think it got a sour spot. So Venemoth got sent in a more vertical direction and was able to live on a stage like Kalos. And I want to say there's a neat transition to something else I wanted to talk about. Let's talk about stages a little bit. So I wanna give you the floor for that a little, because I know you know what Sword Fighter's good stages are.
So I missed a lot of this discussion that they had, and so I'm a little out of the loop. I'm trying to think of what stages would be strong for Miis Sword Fighter, but not so much for Kirby. So I know that Miis Sword Fighter thrives a lot on stages like Lilat. He thrives on stages like Battlefield. He likes getting these combo extensions, and those are stages that he can, easily jump onto the ledge or onto the platforms. Miis Sword Fighter doesn't actually land on the platforms with a single full hop jump. His jump is terrible, and so he struggles a little bit about catching those. I would think that a few other stages with higher platforms would also be beneficial, but I'm also really worried about Kirby up throw. I imagine on stages like Battlefield or like Yoshi's, it would be able to get a really easy kill with that up throw from Kirby.
Yeah, but okay, so here's what I know from what we were discussing concerning stages is what you're talking about with Battlefield for Kirby. That is probably Kirby's worst stage in almost every single matchup they have in the game. Because of one thing, even though up throw is very nice for killing quite a bit earlier, Kirby's speed makes it so they just get camped for free. Being able to get camped so hard on stages like Battlefield and Yoshi's Story makes those stages just so no-goes for most Kirby players. Kalos is another example. Kalos is a very big stage with platforms that, at least with SSD as the up special for Sword Fighter, they can just up special their way to the other platform and keep camping. The camping is the huge deal here. You just gotta make the camping as minimal as possible. And that's why I think we made note that the best stages in this matchup for Kirby are Smashville. Very good because Sword Fighter doesn't have much space to move around. Their full hop doesn't go onto the Smashville platform unless they max height full hop directional air dodge onto it. And Kirby can run in a lot easier, get more easy pickings, get their combos a lot more often. And Final Destination. Final Destination is their best stage on a lot of matchups because there's no platforms for camping to be possible at all, and they can catch landings a lot better. But there still is a lot of space. I want to say that Sword Fighter's still fine on FD, so it's not terrible to pick that stage. But we're talking about matchups where what's a character best on. So if we're just thinking about stage bans in particular, I'd assume every Kirby's going to ban Battlefield and personal preference for the second stage. Sword Fighter will go to any stage, but probably ban Smashville and maybe FD or personal preference for the second pick.
Venemoth has so far banned Smashville and Lilac, so we won't be seeing those this next matchup. What you're saying about camping, though, that has been so relevant so far. Even Venemoth, who I thought had a very aggressive moveset, was camping this last match. He was throwing out his tornadoes and kind of waiting for something. I feel like Miis Sword Fighter is just totally acting like an alligator in this match. He's just kind of sitting there waiting to strike. And when he does, he can get those strong, quick kills off of a Kirby mistake. Kirbys have to play this so carefully and so safely, or else the Mii sword fighters are just going to destroy them off of some explosive finish. Looks like we are going to Final Destination, like you were saying.
So, I'll repeat this again. I don't think it's that bad for Sword Fighter to go to the stage. I think Sword Fighter does well on most stages. Could we agree on that? Maybe.
Yeah, he's pretty proud. I think that last stage that we were on, the super big stage, that's
Kalos,
just
right?
a little rough for Mii Sword Fighter because he doesn't have very many kill options. But Kirby's so light, it just kind of negates that. So you're definitely right there. It's just Mii Sword Fighter doesn't struggle too much when it comes to stage picks.
Yeah, there's a lot of options to where we can be like, oh, do I like this stage? If it isn't bad for Mii Sword Fighter, I'll go to it anyway. There's a lot of options to choose from, but on Final Destination, it's Kirby's best stage. How to see how this is going to affect the matchup. Both players are at 3 stocks each, so well, I'd say it's even, but Kirby's are down 3 stocks right now.
You always hear about being, like fresh on the plate as well. I wonder how much like AlexiAcew and Venemoth have both practiced this matchup. Who's warm, who's not? Because this is not a normal matchup. This is not something a lot of players have experience in. Very, very few players play Mii Sword Fighter. Very few players play Kirby, at least at a super high level. And so, like, it's just so amazing to see this. I was thinking the other day just how, like, excited I was for this crew battle. Just because, like, it's a meme. We're both meme characters. It's just so exciting to see this just at such explosive finishes.
Yeah, one thing to note, I think from the players on the Kirby lineup, Tro, who we saw, G-Man, I don't think he got any matches. Alexi did. So, I'm just thinking about the players currently that have fought against Sword Fighters during this joint matchup, just to get a little bit of experience. I know Lexi was like, I don't like this Gale Strike move. I don't like this down throw upper thing you guys have. It's a problem. So
very, very scary moves. I don't think a lot of people understand just how powerful up air is, and I bring this up all the time. If you look at like what percentage kills will move at, and you look at all of the up airs in the entire game, Mii Sword Fighters is the 4th strongest in like sheer kill potential. If you look at what percentage moves will kill, it's the 4th strongest in the game behind Charizard, Zelda, and Schultz. And those aren't characters that have powerful setups into this move. It's a move that should absolutely be respected by other players.
yeah, there's a lot of moves that you can see in Sword Fighter's repertoire that are extremely underrated by comparison to others in the cast, and the upper is probably the biggest definition of it. I think that I mention it to other people and they're just like, wow, this move's ridiculous, because I tell them a fresh upper does 20% in a 1v1. That's absolutely huge for damage, and that's just going to tell you how big the knockback is as well. TVenemoth starting out with the camping game though.
Look at Alexi's confidence. He's parrying all of these tornadoes. Ever since they made it that you can parry a projectile and not really be punished for it, it has become the most optimal way to approach a Mii Sword Fighter using the Gale Strike option. When you sit on the ground and you shield and walk towards them, the end lag of Tornado is so long that you can get punished for it if you use it extensively.
Yeah, one smart thing I've been seeing Venemoth doing just to promote the whole camping idea was they've used Gale Stab to go over to the other side on FD and just start the Gale spam again.
Yeah, so Gale Stab, a lot of people don't know about this move. Gale Stab goes farther in the air than it does on the ground. If you have an uncharged Gale Stab, it'll only go across about half the stage on the ground. No, it's a third of the stage on the ground, but it'll make it about half the stage in the air. And so it also provides such powerful aerial burst. See how he was able to get across the entire stage with that one stab? And so it's a pretty powerful movement option.
Yeah, and I know some people in the chat are talking about how, like, hey, Venemoth is using only 3 moves here. They're using, like, Gale Strike, then Tornado, Gale Stab, and Down Air for mixing up their landing. But whatever works, I mean, this is a strategy that is effective. Especially
I would like to see more sword camping, especially at this point when Kirby or Alexi is now at kill percentage. See how he's throwing out that tornado, and the Kirby was almost able to get that F smash. Like, he is like at thin ice right now. He really needs to be throwing out moves. He needs to be throwing out different up tilts, F tilts, these safer tilt sword attacks that will get the punish. But down smash out of shield punishes that Kirby dash attack very strongly.
Yeah, and okay, starting out combos with down tilt, that down tilt as well, I think we'll have plenty to talk about with that move over time. We haven't actually seen it way too often in this crew battle so far.
Yeah, Kirby, you don't want him to be very close to you, and the fact that he, see how he ran towards him and did like the fair? Like, you don't want to be doing an attack that sits on the ground against Kirby. Those bears, the different fair into F smash, like, it doesn't cover as much space as a Miis sword fighter would like it to. But Kirby gets the bear into the kill and evens out the stocks here. I think Venemoth is getting a little complacent with these Gale Strikes. Alexi has been proving very strongly that he knows how to deal with it, and so Venemoth needs to change up his game plan a little bit.
Yeah, and a notable thing, Venemoth's Dare got punished by back air. That move isn't foolproof on shield, much like you Kirbys who know how Kirby down air works on shield. The move, while it can cross up pretty nicely, it's still easily punished, and if the move they have at the back is stronger than the front, then you don't want to be crossing up at that high percentage. You're just gonna die off the side. Alright,
Venemoth using Hero Spin, it's the recovery with a worse recovery but more kill options. I've seen a few places where he's kind of been able to use the Hero Spin but hasn't used it. Oh, there he goes for it. Very, very greedily, and a very late reaction by him, and so he doesn't get the kill from it. He is able to get the kill from the Gale Stab in the air against a very high percentage Kirby.
Yeah, again,
Venemoth would do more aggressively though, because he's not able to go off stage to kill the Kirby because of the move, but he's not really using the strengths that Hero Spin has.
Wow, narrowly lost that stock there. Something to know with Gale Stab? Yeah, we talked about how it's just like Ike's side B, but the kill power is quite a lot more surprising by comparison. And we're getting that same combo I talked about before. Getting that nice 60% for starters. Alexi is now in the lead in this current match.
Yeah, poor Venemoth, he used his air dodge. He totally was going to survive that last stock, but he used his air dodge off stage, and it pushes you towards the blast zone a little bit before it actually brings you towards the stage. And so he killed himself on that, and so he's probably, kicking his own butt, and he's possibly in a bad mental state right now.
I mean, they're picking up the pace. Seem to be doing okay so far in making this comeback, but we were talking about it. I was mentioning it before. If your Gale Strikes are going to be at a spot where oh my god, that's stone. But if they're going to be placed in positions where it's too easily punished and you're throwing it out way too much, then it's just going to be punished like that. It's
Definitely.
It's not a foolproof move. it's very punishable in the right spots, and Alexi showed that with a good parry close up and punishing with the dash attack. Can't camp with projectiles for too long. You gotta use your sword.
He doesn't have the chakram either, and so he can't rely on the camping like he wanted to in that matchup. He was using his Gale Stab more as a way to dance around the Kirby and kind of reset his camping. But because he was doing it that way, he just didn't have as many of the aggressive zoning tools that he would probably want to have.
Yeah. All right.
It's a shame that he had the lead in that match, but he gave it away with that stock, and Alexi really had a powerful comeback that round. And so props to him.
All right. So, okay. While I stream most, if not all, of the Kirby crew battles, I stated at the very beginning, I am a Miis sword fighter main, and since I wanted this to be a whole big fun thing, I wanted to join in on the lineup, see how my brethren fare by comparison. So I'm gonna be showing them what's up. You can talk a little bit about the moveset I'm using, since it is quite a bit different compared to the others we've seen so far.
What is the moveset you were running?
2-3-2-3.
Oh, that's right. You are a pretty big advocate for this song. And so 2-3-2-3 is a pretty exciting one because we don't see it in competitive too much. However, it does have a lot of potential, and it highlights some of the moves that aren't used very often by Miis sword fighters. And so it's a really refreshing feel when you see a Miis sword fighter playing this one. I've seen a few of the Kirby players getting a little salty at seeing these tornadoes, and it's not the most fun thing to watch when a Miis sword fighter has to run away. Arconi isn't using the tornadoes in this matchup. He's throwing out these little itty-bitty shurikens of light, which are equally annoying to fight against. It's a very spammable projectile. It does a lot more damage and knockback the farther away from your opponent you are. And so I can see Kirby's wanting to get very up close and personal to the Miis sword fighter or to Arconi in this matchup. The other major deviance in this one is the power thrust. The down special is not the reflector, and it's not the counter. It's a falcon kick-like move. It has a lot of potential to kill, and that's kind of the more exciting part in this matchup. Despite BigLord really showing us how to use reversal slash in the matchup and getting 2 kills from his reversal slash play, power thrust actually has a huge amount of power behind it. And so if a Kirby is caught unaware, Arconi can definitely use the power thrust to get the kills. So Arconi, are you gonna not be able to talk much at all in this game, or are you gonna walk us through your thoughts?
Yeah, so no, I'm not gonna be explaining it mid-game. I'm gonna lead the headset away. You guys will be able to hear it, but I'm gonna be going into focus mode, so I'll have myself muted.
Oh, you're gonna be muted, so we can't hear you, cursing and screaming when Alexi kicks your butt?
No, unfortunately. I know some people might want to see that, but
wait. So, are you picking sides here? Is that what I'm seeing? Are you saying that you, in your heart, you are a Miis sword fighter, not a Kirby, a Miis sword fighter?
Yes. I'm a moderator for the Kirby Court, but I haven't played Kirby seriously as a character since 2016. The Kirbys are my friends, all right, but I am not one of them, you know.
It doesn't really sound like you're being a good friend to them right now.
Hey, it's for a good cause, all right. They need to learn.
Lighting your sword on fire and thrusting it through their heart, and still trying to call them your friend.
On fire, you say?
See, he's excited about this bloodlust.
On fire?
Ooh. So I hear using the Rex outfit gives you the buff of all the Xenoblade fans. Is that true?
Yeah. Xenoblade 2 is my favorite game ever, basically. So, it was the first thing I immediately thought of to use with Sword Fighter, but I I did use a couple other Miis. I was thinking about using the Yu Narukami Persona 4 Pro Tag Mii outfit because, well, the Kirby core ended up using Persona 4 style hints and previews. So I thought it'd be fitting to use that. You might see it later. Both all the Miis I have, at least the 3 I mainly use, have the same moveset. But if I'm able to switch mid-match, then that'd be a little sus.
Yeah, I think in the rules we mentioned that you state your moveset before you get started, which, you know, I understand. I know a lot of tournaments really do have an emphasis on which movesets you use. And so having the rules for the Miis, it's always a little hard and a little, you know, iffy. And so Miis generally are pretty accepting to accommodate to whatever changes like that.
Well, I'm more thinking like, what if the Miis had the same exact moveset, but, you know, their cosmetics are different? What's the rules on that?
Generally the rules are, a lot of venues will say run the defaults, because if you play a character like Rex and you have a little baby thing, I don't know, I haven't played the game, on your back, well, it looks like you can hit that, but you can't. If you're playing a character with like super long hair or something on their head or a big fro, it looks like you can hit that, but you can't.
Yeah.
So I don't know what said for this crew battle. I know this one's more for fun, and you know we love the Kirbys and the Kirbys love the Miis. So I'm not sure anyone's too picky.
I think I'm going to go with what the Kirbys have been fitting it to, and we're going to get started right now. So I'm gonna mute myself real quick, and we'll get into the match.
Okay, sounds good. All right, chat. It's time to talk smack about Arconi now that he's not listening. Place your bets that he'll lose. Okay. We are starting up. So Arconi is using that 2-3-2-3 moveset. I talked about it a little bit, but I didn't mention the power that the projectiles really have. I'm not sure how great they'll be in this matchup, but it is really a Gatling of a projectile moveset. Here we have AlexiAcew. This is a crew battle. He's lost his stock before, so he is killing himself. That's why he's doing this. He's not raging or anything. There's no problem. This is intended. We're starting off on Kalos, and Arconi is throwing out these projectiles. Like I said, it is a machine gun. It is a Gatling gun. Oh, Alexi goes for the E. I was kind of hoping he'd swallow him just so we could keep our theme alive. Arconi's using the up tilt a little bit more to do the zoning. Alexi very much opting for these offstage plays. He knows that if he can get the Miis SWORDFIGHTER off stage, he can get that dare and drag the Kirby, or drag the Arconi down to the depths. So Arconi picked this very large stage. He's hoping that the Kirby won't be able to smack him very hard. He's able to survive. But Alexi knows he can kind of camp on this. He's trying to keep back, but every time I see people try to camp Miis SWORDFIGHTER, it just does not end fair, especially with the move like the Shuriken. Alexi going super bold with that inhale off stage, but Shuriken's definitely dragging him forward. Alexi does have a very aggressive playstyle, and so I like to see when he moves forward. I don't think he really knows when or how. Right now you can see he's bouncing on that platform. He's just waiting for Arconi to make that mistake. He knows he's on his last stock. He knows he just has to get one kill. That's all he has to do. Alexi actually opts to DI in. This is a pretty good mix-up. While you can get a true combo with that up air, down-throated up air with that DI in mix-up, it's a lot of times Miis SWORDFIGHTERs will understand that people will DI away, and so they'll try to push forward a report, and so he isn't able to get that follow-up. I wish so badly that Arconi would jump off the stage and get that dare. Oh, he gets the down special. The Miis Swordfighter Dare has the multi-hits just like Kirby's. The only difference is it doesn't have the spiking effect. But he can, since Alexi is wasting all these jumps, he can drag Kirby down super deep and get a kill like that. Alexi knows he's not going for it, and so he's pretty safe. I think it's just fair to say that both of these players are at high percents and high stakes right now, and so they're both playing safe. And Alexi, with his rage and with the high percent, gets the kill off of Arconi across the entire stage. We see Alexi now camping himself a little bit. He knows he's at the higher percent. He just wants to get as much extra credit as he can. He's hoping to get, with his camping plays, just a little stray hit to get a cheesy kill, but Arconi does it with the third hit of fair, does a lot of knockback, so Arconi gets the kill there. It's too bad for him that he did lose a stock in this, but you know, 1 for 1, it is a fair even trade. Alexi was able to get that extra damage before leaving, and so really helping the Kirbys in this matchup, in this crew battle.
SK's feeding them info. SK was the person who won the most matches against me. He probably knows me a lot better compared to every other Kirby because we've known each other for so long. So he's likely the one who knows how this setup works a lot better. Probably told all the Kirbys, it's like, here's how you can counterplay a Shuriken of Light. Just try and play your own camping game a little bit. That was a smart idea from Alexi to do that, especially on Kalas.
He was looking for the mistakes that you would throw out, but since you're using those specials, you don't have as much of like committal options.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed you didn't use Power Thrust that entire mat. Well, what's your thought there?
So my idea with Power Thrust is that I'll use it for recovery mix-ups sometimes, and I didn't think Alexi was going to crack at all to me just throwing it out randomly. Otherwise, I'd try to use it off of a combo. Like, Shuriken of Light can combo into Power Thrust, but that's not going to be seen too often. It is a good kill combo and can be done from quite a long distance, but it's I mean, I can admit when other specials are better worth using, but Power Thrust is what I'm more used to.
Right. That's a weird thing for me, Swordfighter. I'm a big advocate that, like, yes, Miis Swordfighter should be learning all these other specials to, you know, counter pick a lot of other players. But when you have so many specials and so many combos and interactions to think through, it's almost like learning a second character at times. And so you can't really understate like the power of the comfort pick in your specials. And so I definitely respect that, even if it isn't perfect for every matchup. Okay, looks like next up we have Epic.
Oh, my boy Epic. Epic's quite a regular in the KD. He's one of the most often players in these crew battles, and he just told me, it's like, you know what stage I'm going to, because I didn't ban FD. I was talking about it so much, but you know, we were talking about comfort picks before. I just don't feel like I'm comfortable playing on Yoshi's Story, at least just not right now. I don't feel like I can get the best extensions on that stage, so I'd rather just bank on FD.
Well, and an interesting thing to note with these curved stages is Kirby cannot duck under projectiles from Miis Swordfighter. But if you have a curved stage like Lilat, Kirby can then duck underneath these projectiles. On a stage like Yoshi's, he can go to the edge and he can duck. And so I think that's actually a really powerful pick for Kirby, because he can, that's one of the few places he can camp against Miis Swordfighter. Tornado hugs the ground, but Arconi is not using Tornado. And so it's a really interesting idea to like think about how these stages interact with the characters and their specials, whereas some specials may work better on some stages in certain matchups. There's so much you have to think about. All right. You gotta remember, Arconi is a friend to these Kirbys. He's played these guys many a time. Gives the crew battle stock, they give the taunt, and we're off. I don't know if you guys have seen or not, but this is a Persona 4 themed crew battle. There's a really interesting, a really cute image, and it has the Persona 4 protagonist. It also has the Miis Swordfighter in this outfit and the Kirby having eaten this outfit. And so this is definitely the theme of the crew battle. And so I really appreciate both these characters, or both these players, pulling out their Persona 4 things. Arconi is definitely feeling the pressure from Epic. Kirby has a lot more flexibility and to actually get around his projectiles. Shuriken of Light is a strong projectile, and it's an advanced, but it's small. And Kirby has that option that he can jump around to get around and through it. One of the best parts of it is you see Arconi using his B reverses a lot, like right there. He's able to get the reverses. He's able to have this slight movement option out of a projectile move. It's very quick, very non-committal. Arconi going as deep as he possibly can to avoid that dare from Kirby. Oh! Epic charges the down smash, but even at that high percent, it doesn't get the kill. And Arconi taking these strange angles, yet still able to make the recovery. The dash attack will do it. Dash attack from Kirby, very strong kill option, especially in the sweet spot. So Arconi knows he wants to sit back a little bit, but now he is at the point where he's able to get the kills with the down throw up air. And so you see Arconi going out and throwing those grabs. Oh, Epic going for a combo leading to the offstage extension. But Arconi barely dodging it, responding with a good kill of his own with that up air. Arconi doing the combos, getting 35 damage. Oh, and this is something that should not be understated. The double down air from the Kirby from Epic. Able to throw him deep, but Arconi making that super deep recovery. The fair 2 into up tilt is a true combo. We also see Epic going for his fairs into his attacks. Epic giving that down throw, I believe that's the one that does the most damage. Arconi catching him with the fair. Kirby up special feels like it has a weird interaction with the Shuriken of Light. They both kind of bypass each other. Oh, and Epic does not get the DI correctly on that down, and so Arconi is able to get the kill off of him. You see how quickly he does the down throw. He doesn't pummel, he doesn't do anything. He knows that they're anticipating the DI, and so he knows he can do it quickly and he won't be able to respond. But a very sorrowful end to that kill. He wasn't able to make it back on stage. Looks like he tried to use the power thrust, and because of the hurt box shifting of the power thrust, he flew off stage just a little bit extra. Usually when you're high like that, you want to use power thrust so you can make it back down, but he was a little too far out, and so power thrust was his own death. Strange SD at the very top right corner of the stage, and Arconi is out. But not after doing his boys and Miis Swordfighters proud. He fought well, he fought strong. Epic already throwing out his bans with the stages. He's already banned the Battlefield and the Yoshi story. So he does not want these triplats. He does not want to be camped. Rightfully so. Starling is up next, and he is using the 1322 moveset. The most familiar one, the one we saw BigLord using at the very beginning, when BigLord made a very powerful showing at the start of this group.
I'm gonna need to have a talk with SK later. Man. Alright. Yeah,
How you doing?
I chose confidence on that power thrust, not shifting me over to the blast zone on that. But
I mentioned it. It's a good option. It's a very good option to use when you're so high. but that shifting of the hurt box, you were just a little too high.
I didn't think I was that far away. Like I thought I was closer than that, but I suppose I wasn't. But
it's rough, but you know it happens.
I mean, Epic was playing his game pretty well. He was getting his reads at the right times.
Definitely played well. And if there's any time to make a mistake when you're playing, it's in front of 40 people.
Yeah.
Very easy to get a slight mix-up. As simple as using your down special slightly too early at the very top right of this. So definitely forgiving. But you had some very good plays there. Definitely highlighting a lot of really good Shuriken of Light usage. How'd you feel that match went overall? I was able to commentate it, but you weren't able to hear it, so I kind of want your fresh take on that fight.
I do think the idea of like personal preference getting in the way of potentially banning FD to favor different stage of platforms wasn't a great idea there. Just because Kirby has controlled the neutral a lot better when there's no platforms in the way to cause any camping. In fact, like when deciding to ban Yoshi's Story, I'm sure like most people who at least know my playstyle will be saying it's weird that I thought that camping like wouldn't be my thing to do just in this crew battle, but I was thinking like I don't think I can camp on Yoshi's Story. I definitely it's definitely a thing we can do, but I wasn't confident in pulling that off. So I didn't ban FD, and that's like the last stage you'd want to go to if you're trying to camp, or that or Smashville.
Epic being a little friendly, showing that he still cares, and we're still having fun in this crew battle. Nothing that happens is personal. All right, that right there that Starling did, that's something I want to talk about. The aggressive SSD. You don't see it, or I've not seen it very much, but it's a very powerful option. But it's a very punishable option, which is probably why a lot of Miis sword fighters haven't been using it. But you see there, he's used it again. That move can do some 20-odd damage off of one, hitting it. It also has a huge hitbox, and it's like a disjointed hitbox. Kirby, a lot of his hitboxes are like part of his body, and so he has to extend his hurt box to hit his opponent. And so Starling's repeatedly using this. But that right there, you see Epic has learned his lesson. It is very punishable. As powerful as it is punishable if the Kirby gets the shield. And so Starling's overused it a little bit, but he did show at the beginning it does have a lot of potential as a strong mix-up option.
Okay, Epic going for the hammer ledge trap read there. A lot of Kirby's have learned a little bit that it is an option to go for. Hammer can kill super early, so the risk of pulling out hammer is worth it most of the time. At least on the ledge.
The shields are getting pretty low. Starling's playing his own little aggressive zoning game, but he's not using his movement, he's using his shields. And I think that's a little bit of a mistake for Miis sword fighters. Like it was mentioned earlier in this crew battle, Miis sword fighter doesn't have very good out of shield options. So we're right there, sitting in his shield, he is not safe. Miis sword fighters, you cannot just sit in your shield. You have to be able to use your movement in your camping, in your zoning. You cannot be using your shield. And Starling, I don't know what quite happened there. I don't know if he lost his jump, but going a little too deep and unable to recover.
Yeah, notable thing was all the weird mix-ups with the SSD was tripping Epic up a lot, and now that Epic has sort of understood that, is already adapting to what Starling's throwing out, and going to get, oh no, didn't get any Kirby side there. But
right,
Starling's just trying to bring it back.
Yeah, for the back air. That is a good kill option. Yep, as we see right there, it's very fast, it's very strong. Miis sword fighter kind of weak in his kill options, but the bear is still pretty strong and it's pretty quick. It's -5 on shield, so it's pretty safe to throw out. And he got the read right that he was able to get a kill with it. And good option. Good ending there.
Yeah, I'm unsure of the idea with Starling going for so many upbeats, especially like out of shield. I assume it's well, okay. Part of it is probably going to have to do with nerves. I mean, everybody faces that stuff. I mean, I did during my matches as well. So it's gonna do that to you. And also, it might be like adjusting to a different up special if you used one before, because we've established that Hero Spin is a very good out of shield option. It's the best one that SWORDFIGHTER has, so they might have been used to tossing that out of shield more. So you know, if they have these nerves, they might fall back to things they're more used to, but then realize like, oh wait, my up B isn't that good out of shield by comparison to like other options. I mean, you get like 20% damage off of it if you land all the hits, but still not quite as effective.
It's quick, it's disjointed, and it does a lot of damage. The only downside is it's punishable. I think Miis SWORDFIGHTER Extraordinaire Snaily, I was talking to him once, and he said that it's just, he doesn't like using SSD because catching an SSD hit, it just gives you such a high. And it like turns some Miis SWORDFIGHTERs a little brain dead. You want to use it, you want to throw it out, you want to use it horizontally as a mix-up. But it should only be used as a mix-up. But when you get such a strong hit, it's like a drug, and you want to use it more. But so like it's a very tricky move, and it takes a lot of like experience to learn when is the best time to throw it out and when is a bad time to throw it out.
Oh, yeah.
And even with that experience, if your opponent just gets a good read on you, you can get hard punished for it.
All right.
I think it does. I think it does have a lot of strength. For example, say a Kirby's throwing out a fair, or just a lot of these spaced quick aerials. Short hop aerial at a good distance that's not actually hitting the shield. Miis SWORDFIGHTERs can throw out that SSD, and the disjoint is enough that it'll beat out a character doing those things. So characters that will want to do that, like a wolf, fishing for back airs, or a cloud fishing for, back airs, or something like that, at a good enough space, if you use the SSD, you can go right through a lot of their attacks and get the hit on them. So there's definitely a lot of power in using that move, but it is very punishable.
Yeah. So the last Kirby who's coming up on the lineup, I haven't actually seen them too often before this crew battle. I've seen them sometimes in the Kirby Discord, but they aren't the most talkative. I assume this is the right way to pronounce it since it's French.
I don't know French.
It's Chevre. I'm just going to say that. Since, like, if we were speaking this in, like, I was going to say if it was English it'd be like Chevre, but that doesn't seem right either, so I'm just going to say Chevre.
Shaver? I don't know, man. I don't know, like, what's the rule with, like, French? You just, like, don't pronounce the last parts of the word. Chat, help us out. How do you say his name, chat?
Some people
We're counting on you.
But yes, since I assume they're from France, knowing their tag, but Chevrolet, is it?
Ooh,
I don't know. Okay.
That sounds like it could be it.
All right.
Chevrolet.
Yeah,
all right. You know what? If I'm pronouncing this wrong, blame the Wither. He's the one who told me it was Chevrolet.
Yeah.
So that'll be much more fun to say. And the fair chains into the down special.
Oh no, that's an early gimp already.
Playing very aggressive. Starling opting to just kill himself off the edge so he can get a quicker comeback to the stage.
Yeah, I think just the position they used the up B at was way too vulnerable, and they needed to focus on getting back to the stage instead of specifically to the ledge because of where Chevrolet was at. So
Starling isn't reacting to these fair chains, and so ChevredeFeu is able to get this like combos off him very, very well. Oh,
my God,
he gets
yes.
the jab lock into the combo, stacking up lots of damage, bringing him to 82% now.
Yeah, that combo extension is probably the best that there is for Kirby off a jab lock at that kind of percent, because down air is just fast enough. You know, that's sort of a surprise, it's frame 18, but it is just fast enough to catch someone in a locking state. So you can get an up tilt afterwards and punish. Starling trying to catch a landing, but it's not quite there. And that again, that up B angled to the side like that's just going to get punished, and that stone's not going to kill at the top. But now that...
Oh, Starling not mixing up his recoveries, and so ChevredeFeu is able to get the down specials very, very easy on him. But, you know, Starling, I think he had a really good showing. I've not seen him too much in these crew battles, and so I'm really happy he showed up. Happy he's here, and we're bringing it to a 3-3.
Yeah, so I was hearing some stuff about ChevreDeFeu being like well versed and how they have a lot of experience. They're very good Kirby, so I was hearing some good things. I'm glad to see that expectations are being met a little bit. They've done a really good job so far in getting all their confirms and choosing the right options for edge guarding. That stone we discussed about a little bit. It's probably the most effective option for Kirby to use off stage, because SSD, while you can angle it, if you don't stall effectively, Sword Fighter is pinned a little with that as an option. Just a hitbox going straight down and covering the ledge. It's not easy to avoid for Sword Fighter.
Right, but it's not impossible either. So a few things, like you said, using the specials that Miis Sword Fighter has, they stall you in the air. Using the tornado, using the reversal slash. Tornado also has the added bonus of throwing a tornado at your opponent. They can't go off stage to chase you while you're doing that stall, so it's kind of a 2-for-1, kind of protects you. The other one is to hug the stage very closely. I didn't see Miis Sword Fighter using that choice very well, hugging the stage, and so we can kind of get around the stone that direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, I mean, we've brought this down to an even game here. This is the definitive last match here. Since we're down to the last player for both sides, we've seen ourselves how good ChevreDeFeu can be at pulling things out, being so oppressive. But we have our last Sword Fighter on the lineup is going to be NickSF.
All right, so NickSF, he is an up-and-coming Miis Sword Fighter. He has been like putting in work. I'm not sure how his results are, but this guy, he has a goal to be doing tournaments basically every single day. He has been on the grind. So I'm kind of excited to see where he's at right now in this matchup. This is a matchup that I don't know if he has experience in. So despite having such a strong, powerful grind, he still might be a little bit in the dark. But he has the potential to really give us a showing. But ChevreDeFeu, after seeing that last game, I'm pretty excited to see what he's able to pull out in this matchup too.
Yeah, I want to see a good match, all right? I don't want to see anything that looks like a blowout, but you know, if it does turn out to be a blowout, I'm sure the Sword Fighters are going to be looking for who caused this, who did this. We had a lead before.
No. All fun and all game.
We're down to even again, 3-3. Nobody needs to SD this time. The final match of the crew battle is going to be ChevreDeFeu versus NickSF. Let's get it.
All right, so this is as true of a match as you can get. PS2, 3 stocks each. Neither player showing too many antics. This is the kind of like sword and chakram camping that the Miis Sword Fighters were talking about. See how he's throwing out a sword, keeping a tighter spacing than he would if he were camping with his projectiles. but still doing a little bit of that camping. It's kind of a dance that Miis Sword Fighter has to do, using these different weapons. And that Tornado, I believe, actually shield poked. When you use it with the short hop, Tornado actually has quite a strong ability to poke shield. And Kirby, being so round himself, it isn't as hard to poke his shield.
ChevreDeFeu was a little late on getting that jab lock with down tilt that would have brought Nick off stage and into the situation here. Oh no!
Missing the tag, losing the jump, not hugging the stage, everything we talked about, it is showing right there. ChevreDeFeu getting that very strong hit.
In Pokemon Stadium 2 in particular, Pokemon Stadium 2 slants made the stone knockback angle go in the worst direction possible for Nick to get back to the stage. That's going to be it, and now down throw up air's gone.
Down throw up air is not true, Kirby's. It is not true. We've seen it so many times in this crew battle, but we see right there ChevreDeFeu knowing how to avoid it, how best to play again.
Yeah, you ended up parrying the Gale Strike. Oh no, I want to say NickSF is playing a little anti right now. You have so much time on the clock, even if you're behind, you can't play this anti. You need to slow it down a little bit, play a little more to your pace. Can't play to the Kirby's pace, or else they know how to play their game better than you do. So,
well, Nick, to his benefit and to his dismay, he is a very aggressive player. And so, for his benefit, that last kill, I don't know if you saw the Kirby shield, but it was dead. He would have shield poked even if like Kirby had. And so, throwing out his moves, throwing at the back airs, throwing at the up airs. If Kirby just kept playing with the shield and kept playing defensively, he still would have lost. Nick's benefit there was his aggression. But I think we see in the earlier matchups, players like BigLord, they were playing a campier game, and they were being rewarded for their campy play.
Oh yeah.
And so it's a very tough mix. And again, the down special, that should not be killing me Sword Fighter.
Yeah, you needed to tech the stage there. That's at that point where Nick was drifting, he had to realize that he was in the other side and know that this could be it. Okay, ChevreDeFeu going for a double downer is not going to get gimped by Miis Sword Fighter downer. That definitely would have done it when ChevreDeFeu didn't have any of his jumps.
That would have been the kill. But Nick was very, very good about drifting outwards instead of inwards for that recovery, and so he wouldn't get hit by that second down air that the Kirby wanted to throw out. And we are in dire straits for the Miis Sword Fighters. Once again, right there, you see that is not a true combo, Kirby's. And ChevreDeFeu being able to avoid that, it is showing a lot of strength. Now I noticed right there, ChevreDeFeu tried to eat the tornado. Nick is running a reversal slash, and that will kill the Kirby, that will kill ChevreDeFeu if it gets reflected, the little star bite. And so you Kirby's will want to eat it. It is kind of scary. I know he's using it last resort to, approach when he doesn't have any other options from the air, but it still is a very tight space to be in.
Yeah, so this is looking very tight for Nick to pull off. Oh, ChevreDeFeu trying to get a read, jumping in the air. This might be the last exchange here. Avoided the stone. Can't be too aggressive, just, yeah, be safe and truck him away.
Hey, I respect that. Nick learned his lesson. He knew that he had to go hug the stage a little bit tighter, and he was able to avoid the down special. Oh, but we get the kill.
So, yeah, ChevreDeFeu did a back air in response just to try and land, but Nick pulled out a forward air, which extended his hurt box with his arm and made him get clapped by the back air in the end. And that trade at that kind of percent against a multi-hit is just not what you want to see. We're seeing some new stuff, as this is the first time ChevreDeFeu has ever been on a Kirby lineup, as far as I'm aware, showing off their stuff, pulling it out, getting the comeback from a deficit, starting from the very beginning of the crew battle, getting all the way back into a victory in this one. Very good stuff for ChevreDeFeu.
He's got very strong shoulders on his back. He's able to carry the win here, taking out both of these Miis Sword Fighters at the end. These Miis Sword Fighters being very formidable opponents, playing very clean, playing very fair. But Nick was just unable to respond to those down specials, and it was kind of the death of them there at the end. But congratulations to the Kirbys. Very well played. Very exciting games. Kind of a heart twister. I didn't know where we were going. Miis Swordfighters were winning. Then it was a tight. Then it was a very even match. And they were able to pull out that win at the end.
Yeah. I guess a funny thing to note, most Kirbys will know this player, but the best Kirby in the world right now, just we Shock, who's also from France. So it's a little funny to think that, you know, we have another French player, another French Kirby pulling out the win in this Kirby battle. It seems France is just a home for really good Kirbys, and you know, we see another one yet again pull the win out here in this Kirby battle. Very good, very good stuff.
I don't know what's in that French water, but it's giving these Kirbys superpowers by the sounds of it. You played very, very well. Very exciting to see.
Yeah. One thing I want to point out before the both of us sign off here is I'm gonna show a little, since you sword fighters may or may not still be here watching right now. The Kirby Discord is hosting an event. The signups were the signups started a couple weeks ago, but the signups are still on right now. You can go in there and show off your skills yourself if you weren't in this career battle. We had this monthly tournament called the Master Crown Monthly. It's coming back this summer, and we're trying to I'm trying to promote it just out there for other people to participate, though it's still containing most people from inside our server. So if you enjoyed the presence of our little pink puffball and you want to participate in that, you can join our server, the Kirby Discord. I know we use the Sword Fighter server for the joint matchup this time, but if you want to, should be smashchords.com/S5Kirby, and you can join in on that and participate in the tournament. It should be a good time. I'll be streaming that as well. It should be next week that we'll be having that.
Yeah, definitely join both of these Discords. I can't stress it enough. I get so fed up playing Quick Smash or Elite Smash, and it's just so much better to go onto one of these Discords and find players that way. You find better players, you get less lag, you get to talk to them so you're not raging, and you get these super cool events like Arconi's talking about. So definitely hop in these Discords, talk to these people, learn how to play these characters. It's fantastic stuff.
Yeah. But again, congratulations to the Kirbys. I know I'm gonna be hearing this one for a while. I know that. So I'm gonna have a nice talk with a bunch of them over in that server, and maybe some of you can join me over there. And I'll
sleeping in the doghouse.
Yep. And again, thanks Supa for joining with me on commentary. It was a pleasure.
Hey, it's been a blast.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna start heading out now. I'm also very hungry as well. I need to get some food since I woke up this morning. I didn't have any food yet, so I need to get food. All right. So I'll be peacing out, everybody. See y'all.